If you don't wear wool for 40 years, it shrinks.
Shrink in the closet.
And this machine will do everything for you except make you coffee.
Yeah. Don't sew the sweater together. Hi everybody and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are as always your hosts Arne and Carlos.
And today we are going to be doing a steeking episode. Actually, we've done steeking before. We did it in 2016, I believe. But back then, we didn't have as many subscribers or as many followers as we have today. And steeking is still a very relevant subject. A lot of people are afraid of steeking. And so we wanted to revisit this. And because probably from 2016 until now, we have even more tips, more hacks. Maybe we're better in front of the camera than we were back then.
I think also a lot of people, there are probably more people now who is trying it.
Okay.
Because I think knitting on the round has become more
Popular
than way back when we did it the first time. And then we also made it on something that was new, something we had was just knitted and we had to put it together.
And this time, tell us, Arne, a little bit about what we're going to steek.
This time we're going to fix this sweater because this has been lying in the closet for many years.
How many years?
I don't know, but...
When did you knit it?
I think I was like 17.
So 40 years, because you're 50-something now.
Something.
Sorry, I mean 20-something.
So for like 4 years?
Yeah, 40 years.
Actually, the sleeves are okay, but the body is a little bit tight, so it's uncomfortable to wear.
Because everybody knows if you don't wear wool for 40 years, it shrinks.
Shrink in the closet.
All by itself.
All by itself. And that happens to this one. And I also had a boat neck, I think, so it was quite open and with the facing.
Yeah.
On the back.
Yeah.
Put down. Like.
Yeah. So anyway,
so I had to open it and remake the shoulders, and because I couldn't steek with the boat neck because you have a lot of extra fabric.
So anyway, it's a Sattestall's. This is a traditional lice sweater or lice jumper from Sattestall. It's not because it's full of lice. It's absolutely not. But the little dots.
It might be.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. The little dots on this sweater are called lice. That's just the name of a symbol. It's kind of like when you have a reindeer on a sweater. It's not a real reindeer, right? And it's the same with the lice. A while back, we did our series on Sattestall, which we highly recommend you to watch if you haven't seen it. It's amazing. And we were wearing these really beautiful sweaters from Sattestall. And when we got back, Arne said, hey, I have a sweater from Sattestall that shrunk in the closet. Why don't we take it out, do something with it? And hopefully you'll be able to wear it again
Yeah, I think I
after
will.
40 years.
But now, when I see the sweater now, I see a lot of things I would have done different. But I didn't care about these things.
Experience, you've got you gained 40 years of knitting experience, since you made this.
But I won't tell you, and I think that when I put on the plackets and make it into a jacket, no one will see it. Hopefully, or
hopefully,
if people see it, I don't care.
So before you start doing this, Arne, could you please just quickly show and explain what exactly you're going to do?
So I'm going to mark the center of the garment, and then I'm going to mark the neckline, and I think also I will go down a little bit on the back.
So you're going to
do that with red yarn.
Yeah.
And when that is done, we will put out the sewing machine, and then we will make a zigzag on the outside of the red lines.
And cut.
Around, and then the one straight seam, because I like to have both the zigzag and a straight seam.
To just be sure to catch all those stitches.
And then we cut it open. So we will show you when we cut it.
Okay, perfect.
And then later we will do the stolpe.
The placket.
The placket.
But that's going to be another episode. So this episode is just going to be about steeking. So Arne, why don't you start marking the center? And if you need to explain something while you're marking, feel free to interrupt me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the cross as the center.
Yeah, because it actually looks like that's the center.
Yeah. Did you see? No, I shouldn't tell, but okay.
No.
Don't look. Okay, I go down so it's on this stripe.
Yeah.
So this will be the center, and then I do the stitches with the red yarn in the center stitch. So I'm actually working over 3 stitches. the center stitch and where I put the yarn.
So every 3 stitches you're gonna go in with your needle then.
No, that can be anything. But
Oh,
I
okay.
work
Sorry.
on these 3.
Oh, I understand what you mean.
So I will make the red yarn in the center, the middle stitch of the 3. Then I will make the sewing on the 2 on the side.
Okay, perfect. And this sweater is actually really good for showing that because it's black and white, so it's perfect. Couldn't be better. And then with your red thread, you really mark it.
Yeah, this is a very I really liked this sweater.
Yeah.
So it's a pity I haven't used it in so many years.
So Arne, a lot of people. So while you do this, I'm going to say something. A lot of people write to us, comment. They say that they really want to try Steeking, but they're terrified of ruining what they have spent 12 weeks or whatever time knitting. So they're afraid to do it. And, once they grab those scissors and they start cutting, a lot of people feel like they're terrified that they might screw it up.
But you shouldn't be, because you should think about the knitted piece as a piece of fabric.
Yeah.
Just like when you make garments,
Exactly.
woven fabric, you cut them.
Now we have a saying, we have 2 sayings that we say over and over again. The first one is that it's the end result that counts. And there are many ways to get to the end. And you do it your way, the way you feel most comfortable. That's the first one that we usually say. Second one we always say is it's really easy when you know how to do it. So if you have never steeked, if you feel a little bit anxious about doing it, what we would recommend is practice on something else. Don't take that, if you're a first-time steeker, don't go for the sweater that you knitted for 12 weeks. There's other ways to try. What you can do is if you have something in your closet full of holes, maybe you used it to paint your living room and it's full of paint that you didn't throw away, take that and steek that or try. Because if you ruin that, it's not going to make any difference. Go to the thrift store, get yourself a $10 cheap, ugly sweater, and try that. Or if you have an old knitted sock that you ruined, maybe you lost the pair, right? Or it's full of holes, you don't want to darn it. Try doing the knitted sock as steeking that. And the thing that does is gives you confidence, because once you succeed on a really ugly old sweater from a thrift store, you get that confidence so that you can actually go straight to your 12-week sweater and do it.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid, but yeah, it's easy to do when you know how, and practice makes perfect. So go ahead.
No, I think I'm going to stop up here, because you have to also consider that you're going to add the rib, the collar.
Yeah.
So
I think you're doing like a front neck drop that is going to have about 8-10 centimeters.
Yeah. So I think I stop here because the stitches will be picked up on this side, so you will actually have a little bit more. And then I make a curve, like something like this, up to the shoulder. And then you can look at the pattern on the other side to make it more or less the same.
Yeah.
So this is how I do it.
So tell me about the pattern, Arne. The pattern for this sweater. Where
it's an
did you get it?
Old Norwegian pattern.
Yeah.
It was from, I really don't remember. It's from a Norwegian brand.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I used the same yarn as was that is said in the pattern, because the pattern was so old. But I guess this is the yarn from the local grocery shop, because they had yarn.
And 100% wool.
Yeah, that's always.
And we shocked everybody when we told them the price of the yarn in Norway, because it's so much more reasonable than
people believe or think.
Yeah, considering we live in a very expensive country, paying $5-6 for a skein of 100% Norwegian wool, natural wool, is quite a bargain, apparently.
Yeah.
We're used to it though, so it's...
So now I'm going a little bit down on the back. I remember sometimes when I did this, I didn't go down on the back. I just used the straight line.
But it's nice to have a little back neck drop of about 2 centimeters.
But I think since then I've been to fashion school and learned pattern construction. So I think my mindset has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Since I was a kid.
But the boat neck is always an easy solution, because it really just makes you...
Yeah, you just knit an extra piece, do the taggekant.
Yeah, the little picot. You
the
can do a picot
and
edge.
fold it down, and it
Yeah,
looks nice.
and you don't need to shape this,
No.
so it's easy. Then you're pretty much needing a rectangle with an opening on the top.
Yeah, but this has shrinked a lot, so
Yeah.
the boat neck was actually very uncomfortable now.
And you know why it shrinks?
No?
Me neither. I have no idea.
I thought you had the solution now.
Yeah. So
Let
yeah,
me see, is this looks more or less the same? Yeah, this looks kind of good.
it does. Yeah.
Do you think we would add embroideries on this to make it look more like a satin style sweater?
So in order to do that, we'll need to go to Sattesdal and spend a winter there taking classes with Randi,
And learn.
which actually she offered us.
Yeah.
So we should go.
Maybe we will.
So yeah, you can get patterns for
Just add
these sweaters in Norway. All the yarn manufacturers in Norway have a traditional lice sweater pattern available. So we don't have one that we've designed, other than the ones that we did in our book, Traditional Knits with a Twist.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that book, go to your local yarn store. If they sell Norwegian yarn from, for example, Rauma, they can get you a pattern for this sweater.
Yeah. Now I'm ready for the sewing machine. So
Wow.
let's come back with the sewing machine.
Yeah, it's behind me.
Yeah. So the machine is out and we're ready to go. You
Yeah.
want me to do it or you want to do
No,
it?
you can do it.
Yeah.
This is a new machine. We got it last year to sew our folk costumes. It's Janome. And this machine will do everything for you except make you coffee.
Yeah, and we haven't used it for a while, so it's kind of, we have to,
Yeah.
I really have to try to understand it.
Yeah, it's so fancy
But
that...
there's so many different seams here.
Yeah, it's a really fancy
Okay,
one.
now I have blocked the yarn, or what you call it. Is it blocked when it's stuck to the, okay, I think I have to make a little bit longer zigzag.
So what were you saying? You block the yarn in what sense?
Or I kind of, so it doesn't go out. You go back and forth with the sewing machine.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you sew that a little bit back and forth so that
So
the
it's
thread, you're talking about the
stuck,
thread.
The
Yeah.
thread, so it's stuck.
Yeah.
So first I do the zigzag.
So you do the zigzag seam along the line,
It
the
started
red line.
a little bit tight. I think it's a little bit tight still. So make it even bigger.
So you need larger, looser stitches.
This looks better. But it doesn't matter because when you put on the placket, it will disappear anyway.
Yeah.
And when you sew it, sometimes like now I sew from bottom and up and I watch it from top down. So it's very confusing when you see the stitches. So I have to look at the center thread every now and then just to know that I'm on the right track. Yeah. I think I even make it a little bit longer. So first the zigzag around. And don't sew the sweater together.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
That's going really well.
And you can use any color. I just used what was in the machine.
But you chose a good blue color that is visible, so you can see where the seam is.
Because it's gonna disappear under anyway. But when you sew on the placket, you will use black in this case.
But Arne, it's actually good to have a contrast color when you're doing this, because you're going to do two stitches, one on each side of the red yarn,
Yeah.
and it's good to
And then you
be able
cut
to
in
see,
between.
be able to see exactly where it is. If you would have used a black thread now, it would be a little bit harder to see.
I think I'm still on the right stitch.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
It's a bit confusing looking this way. Okay. And as we said in the beginning, we sew on the outside of the yarn that you mark the neck opening and the front width. Yeah, I think this zigzag is actually very good. So maybe it's not necessary to do the straight seam, but I always do a straight seam on top. I think we should do that. because if I don't do it, I will think about it later that I didn't do it. So, but you're actually also getting the straight seam when you sew the placket on. So there are actually 3 seams in this case. And when you do the straight seam, you need to have the long stitch.
This is such a good sewing machine,
I
Arne.
think it's so cool.
It
And
moves.
there's so much information here.
Yeah.
It's like
Look at this.
there's like
Look,
extra
I love
information
I love
on
this.
the side.
Look at this, Arne. Look at this. You
Yeah.
can pull this out, and it's got these are all the numbers of all the stitches it can do.
It's so cool. We haven't tried all
It's
of
got
them.
embroidery stitches too. It's really
Maybe we
cool.
should do a swatch just to experiment
Yeah,
a little bit and see all the stitches. There's so much to do and so little time.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell a story while I'm doing this?
Okay, so once upon a time,
Yeah,
there was a sweater
yeah.
that was hanging in the closet
And it shrank.
in a mysterious way.
And I think I made it when I was working as a milkmaid
Okay, so
up in the mountains.
in your mountain farm, in your out farm.
What was that again? I said once that I was working as a milkmaid, and someone corrected us and said
A milkman.
a milkman.
And you said no,
No,
a milkman.
it's a milkmaid.
So
I think that's the only word I can find in English for that. Budeie.
Budea, yeah. It's all about summer pasture for grazing. You send your cows, if you have a cow farm, you send your cows up into the mountains for summer so they can have their amazing food there.
Yeah, you also have the other word for men. It's sveiser, but that was more like down on the farms down in the homestead.
In the valley, in the homestead, yeah.
Because in the old days, most of the budeier were
Milkmaids, yeah.
So when I did that, I was a little bit unusual.
And the budea, the milkmaid, her usually, like for example, in your family farm, which is run by your nephew now, and your brother, they will get some support from the Norwegian government so that they can pay.
Used out farm also.
Yeah, so they can pay to they're paid to use the out farm, and then they usually hire a budea, which we're calling a milkmaid, and she will then, or he or she will live in the out farm and will take care of the milking in the summer, whilst the people who run the farm, in your case, your brother and your nephew, they can do the work in the farm that is done regularly. So they're down by the fields and doing their thing, and then the cows are having a holiday with a milkmaid.
And I did this for many summers.
Yeah.
So I was milking the cows by hand, which was really hard in the beginning. And then I think the second summer, I got an aggregat.
Generator.
Generator, so I had a milking machine, and then I could actually knit while the machine was milking the cows. So I guess this one also had been made partly in the barn, behind the cows.
So originally you were putting out, we call the cow cream, the cream that you use for the cow udder. Originally you were using that to milk the cows, and then once you got...
you milk the cows,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then you finish the milk, then you put the cow cream.
Yeah, exactly. And you were doing that when you milked the cows by hand, and then when you got the machine and you didn't need to do that anymore.
I think I put on cow cream then also.
You did, yeah. But then you put it on your hands because you were knitting so fast that you needed some moisture.
I love my cow
Yeah.
cream, which has another name in English, but I like the word cow cream.
Yeah.
It's good.
Spenol
So,
in
spenol.
Norwegian.
Look, I'm done.
Yeah.
Now since I need to do things like I normally do, I have to make the straight seam.
Do you really have to?
Not really. Okay, let's be a little bit wild this time.
Exactly.
and
Let's
don't
be wild and adventurous and not do it. Shall we take the machine
that
down?
away.
Can I turn it off?
Take it away. Love the machine.
I turned
I'm
it
gonna
off.
practice on this machine and learn more.
This machine doesn't talk to you though.
You lift it from there.
Yeah, so I turned
I'll
it
put
off.
this under. That's very important.
Take
You know this blue, Carlos? You know where that came from?
full costume.
From
My
your
vest.
vest.
It's from my
There it
vest.
is.
There you go.
So
Does she have a
now-
name?
No,
Or
not
he?
yet. Look. Now I did my zigzag around. And also in the back and down. So now it's time to cut.
So,
But we need a good scissor, Carlos.
yeah, but can I ask a
That
very
is not a good scissor.
can I ask a very quick question?
Yeah.
So when you're gonna cut from here all the way to here, and that's it.
No, I'm going to cut all the way around.
Oh, okay, you're gonna go that way as well. Yeah. Wow, it's gonna be exciting.
I need a good scissor.
A good scissor is not this.
No. There are good scissors in the kitchen.
In the box.
Yeah.
Let's get ourselves a good scissor. Coming right back.
I'm waiting. I'm patient. I have all the time in the world. Carlos, come! You're back.
Hello, I'm back. You know, Arne,
I
you
think
know,
that took forever.
well, your instructions, find the scissor, is not very easy. It's like, where?
Where are the
But I
scissors?
found it.
Okay, let's get rid of this first. Maybe I just, I guess I sew it together some places. We cut first. You know, it doesn't matter how it looks on the edges because it's gonna disappear.
This you don't have to take
No,
out.
we do. So let's cut.
Just cut it.
No, you don't have to cut. You don't cut the zigzag. And it was actually quite difficult to sew when you have it upside down because you can't. It's not so easy to follow the stitches because something happens in your head when you see it the other way.
I think of all the things that we've seen right now in terms of this steeking, the trick for a good result is you have to have the correct length of the zigzag, because if it's too short, it will pull. It will pull the yarn and it will become a very tight edge. So that's crucial that you try, when you try a practice round, that you experiment with the length of the zigzag.
I just tried directly on the garment because I think I'm so good.
Yeah, well, you are.
No. But then again, I'm not so afraid of doing it.
No, because you've done it before, and hopefully with our advice, people will be less afraid of this as well.
So now we have to take some of this away. If you don't get rid of everything, it will disappear. It's not the end of the world.
No, there's going to be a placket there that we're not going to do on this episode. It's going to be done later on in 2022, because this year is coming, you know.
So this will probably be one of the UFOs for a few months.
Yeah.
With all the other UFOs.
And then we'll come back in 2022 and do the placket as a new tutorial.
But I have actually got myself a beautiful basket with a lid on top. So now I have all my projects
Your UFOs.
in one place. Isn't that good? You're happy for that?
Very
aren't you?
happy.
Yeah? So then you need to cut out the, what do you call it?
The neck.
The neck.
The collar.
So you see, I cut approximately 0.5 centimeter maybe away from the zigzag.
Yeah.
Like this. This you can use the carder, and you can use it for stuffing for birds, Christmas balls, dolls, whatever. So, and a little bit on the back. This will, on the neckline, it will also disappear, because when we do the neckline, first we do the placket, then we do the neckline, then we pick up stitches, and we do a double collar, which will be folded down. So you will cover up everything that is raw.
Yeah.
So nothing will be visible. It will be beautiful.
Now, one thing you could do, Arne, if you know, especially because we are in Norway, we could get that ribbon with the machine-made löjesöm, because you can actually buy that in a lot of stores here.
Yeah, but you really think you want that?
No, I don't really. No, I mean it's your sweater. I don't know what you want. No, I would have preferred a hand embroidered one from Satistal. But actually, there is the option of getting a machine-made,
But
a
after
machine-made ribbon.
seeing the handmade
Yeah.
one in Satistal, I was looking at the machine-made ones in the store because I actually thought about it. But after seeing the
Satistal, the real
stuff,
thing, the real deal.
it's kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get spoiled when when you get kind of exposed to the amazing embroidery of Satistal.
Yeah.
But if you did get that, you would still need to knit a placket, wouldn't you? Or could you do
I
it?
would have the,
You would still have to have the placket,
need
and
to
then
have a
you would have
placket.
to, and then you would stitch the ribbon on top.
or like on the outside of the placket.
Yeah,
I
on the
would put
outside
it.
of the placket, on the So it's still not. There's no easy way out of this.
No.
Once you steek it, you need to knit a placket.
So there's a jacket coming. If you want to have a V neck, you just go down like that. So let's see if we can get more of this out.
Mm-hmm. Love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. You should have one of these, you know.
Yeah. I'm like a little gray mouse today, you know.
You go for solid colors.
Yeah, I went for the.
I go for every
I blend in with the cement color today.
If you stand next to the wall, we won't see you.
Maybe I'll disappear. Yeah. I'll become a wall hanging,
You
a
need
wallflower.
Yeah, you need some color, Carlos.
Yeah, next time.
Okay, so now this is ready to be placket. Placketed.
Yeah.
Placketed. So, since this is so old, I could not find exactly the same yarn, but I found this
Close
one,
enough.
which is actually very close. So the next step now will be that I will cast on stitches as much as I think I need for the placket.
Mm-hmm.
And I will have a little extra piece. I can cast on some stitches just to show what we're gonna do
Yeah.
and finish the next time. So say you just cast on, and maybe I should go down on the needle. So I will go down on the needle when I do it. But you cast on as many as you think you need for the placket. So say that is.
Yeah, it depends on the
little bit
width
more.
you want to have on the placket.
And also for the buttons you find.
Yeah, I would recommend approximately 3 centimeter placket is quite nice. That's a really good measurement, especially when you're knitting in a DK yarn. So if you do a 3 centimeter on each side and then one will go over the other with buttonholes, that'll be a really nice
Then
width.
you have space for those traditional buttons.
And you'll have to figure out exactly how many stitches for 3 centimeters. Because...
So if this is the placket, what you see, then you will have to think that this is going to be sewn on around there, and this will be folded over like this.
Yeah.
So you need a few extra stitches will be who you knit in stockinette.
Yeah.
Because this part is the facing on the inside.
And the facing is what you probably have done in here already.
Yeah.
It's pretty much...
So when you sew it on, you will sew it on like that.
Yeah.
And then you turn it around like this.
And so
then you will put this one over to hide the raw edges like that one.
And it is the facing is pretty much the cover up of the seam, so that you don't see the zigzag. So it has a decorative function, and it's very important to have it.
Yeah, because you don't want to have those raw edges.
No,
and
especially
the sewing machine seam and stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to have that visible, and also because you then cannot wear the jacket open because it look really ugly. So that's the facing. Anyway, we have already, so this is a revisiting of the steeking. We hope that we've given you enough confidence. And now we get to see the Satistal's kofte, the lice sweater.
Now I actually can get into it. I think the sleeves are still nice. This one, when it was very tight.
How about the armhole?
It's good.
Yeah.
But I have this one. So when I add the placket now, I can actually use it.
Yeah.
It's still a little bit tight, but
placket. You'll have to have a wide placket.
But I can use it.
Mm-hmm. So that's a great
Instead of having it lying in a cupboard for years and years.
So we hope this tutorial will help you get over your fear of steeking. As we said before, we've done it before, so this is a revisiting of the tutorial. We've got a very busy year ahead, and we have a very busy end of year ahead. So we have planned a lot of different tutorials, and unfortunately we can't fit the placket tutorial in 2021, so we will have to come back to that in 2022. However, we have already done a 3-part tutorial on steeking. We did that in 2016. So all you need to do is go to our YouTube channel and you can just search ARNE CARLOS steeking and those tutorials will come up. And then you can follow the placket tutorial now if you can't wait until next year.
And I'm gonna wear my beautiful jacket this winter.
Yeah. Are you sure it's gonna fit now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it was like this before.
Yeah.
Now it will be, I will have this extra.
Yeah. But let's put it this way, it's not going to be an oversized jacket.
No,
it's gonna
it will be a very tight jacket, but I can wear it open.
Yeah, correct. So you saved the jacket now.
I saved it.
Yeah, perfect. So a few...
I like my jacket.
It's a great jacket.
Thank you.
So steeking is done, and it's no big deal. You can do it. We support you. So
if we can do it, you can do it.
So we support you. Go ahead and try it, and you won't be disappointed. Now, a few formalities on it. I'll do them today.
You can do them today. I've done a lot of sewing now.
Exactly. So I'll do the formalities. Please like the episode, engage with it, comment. That's really good for all of us. The community here is great. You can, meet a lot of lovely people by doing that, and it helps us as well with YouTube. Please become part of the YouTube family of subscribers. It's a great family, and we have a lot of fun around here.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Make sure to put on your notifications bell, because that way you will never miss an episode. We've got great patterns and great yarn on our website. So go to arnecarlos.com and go to our web shop for patterns and select yarn from the menu to go get some of the great yarns, including the Norwegian wool that we do with Rowan. So
you knew everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Good.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for watching, and see you again next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Hi everybody, and welcome to our Christmas Countdown 2021.
Where we're going to be revealing the secrets inside these traditional mini Norwegian Christmas jumpers.
And there's 24 of them, and no one looks the same.
They're completely unique. Every day from December 1st until December 24th. Hope to see you there.